There's a moment in every life. When it begins, it doesn't arrive with fanfare. There's no spotlight, no crowd cheering you on. It's quieter than that, softer, easy to miss if you're not paying attention. It begins with a whisper, a feeling deep in your chest, unfamiliar, yet somehow ancient, a stirring beneath your daily routine. A nudge when you look at your reflection in the mirror and wonder, is this all there is? That whisper? It's not random, it's not a trick of your mind, it's your dream, calling you. For some, it starts early. A child with eyes wide open, staring at the night sky, imagining endless possibilities. A young heart sketching out hopes, desires, the impossible. Convinced that anything can be real, but life has a way of quieting that fire. School, society, expectations. They wrap around you like vines, gently pulling you down to the ground, teaching you to be realistic. To fit in, to settle, and yet the whisper never leaves. Maybe you've heard it late at night, lying awake, long after the world falls silent. Maybe you've felt it standing at the crossroads of life, wondering why success feels empty, why routine feels heavy, why your soul feels restless. The whisper speaks softly, but its message is loud. There's more for you. You were not made to play small. Follow your dream, but chasing a dream. That's dangerous. It means risking failure. It means stepping beyond the safety of what's familiar. It means facing rejection, ridicule, and moments of crushing doubt. So most people, they turn away. They bury the whisper beneath daily distractions. They drown it in responsibilities and reasons why now isn't the right time. But dreams, real dreams, they're persistent, they wait. They linger in the quiet moments between breaths, beneath conversations, behind every what if. You push aside the truth, the whisper inside you. It's not weakness, it's not foolish hope. It's your compass guiding you toward the life that has always belonged to you, if only you dare to reach for it. Dreams are inconvenient. They arrive when you're busy. They interrupt your comfort, but they carry the power to transform everything. Imagine for a moment the version of yourself, the one who listened, the one who followed the whisper, the one who believed even when the world doubted. Where would you be? What would you become? Who might you inspire? The world may not hand you permission, but you don't need permission to follow your dream. What you need is courage, and it begins, not with certainty, not with guarantees, but with a whisper. The whisper is calling. The only question is, will you answer? The whisper inside you, the one calling you to follow your dream. It's fragile at first, soft, uncertain, almost easy to ignore, but the world, it doesn't just whisper back. It shouts, it demands. It tells you exactly what box to live in, how far you're allowed to go, how small you should make yourself to fit in. From the moment you show even a flicker of ambition, the world begins its work. They say, be realistic. Dreams are for children. It's better to be safe than sorry. And maybe they mean well. Maybe they think they're protecting you from disappointment. But in truth, they're afraid. Afraid that your courage will expose their fear. Afraid that your pursuit of something greater will remind them of the dreams they buried long ago. The world loves comfort. It builds routines, rules, expectations designed to keep everyone in line, predictable, manageable, ordinary. It whispers that ordinary is safe, ordinary is secure, but what it doesn't tell you is that ordinary slowly kills the soul. Look around. How many people do you know who gave up their dream, who traded passion for a paycheck, who silenced that inner voice because they were told it was impossible, irresponsible, foolish, and yet they wake up every day with that quiet ache, that lingering question, what if I had tried? The world doesn't fear your failure. It fears your success, because the moment you decide to follow your dream, to truly chase it, you disrupt the pattern. You remind people that playing small was always a choice, not a requirement. But dreams are not meant to live in cages. They're not designed to be buried beneath the expectations of others. They demand space. They demand risk. They demand you grow beyond the person you were yesterday. And growth, It's uncomfortable. It threatens the status quo. It challenges every lie you've ever been told about your limitations. But here's the secret. The world only wins if you believe it, if you accept the small life they offer. If you convince yourself that dreams are for other people, if you settle into the comfortable prison of routine, but deep down you know better. The whisper never really leaves. It waits. It watches. It tests your resolve. And when the world gets loud, when they tell you to stay small, stay quiet, stay in line, that whisper grows stronger, reminding you, you were not born to blend in. You were not made to live someone else's story. Your dream is not a mistake, it's your calling. The world will tell you to stay small, but your heart, it knows. Greatness was never meant to fit inside small spaces. There's a cost to following your dream. Everyone knows that, but what no one tells you is the price you pay when you don't. See, the world warns you about the risks of chasing something bigger, the failures, the judgment, the uncertainty. But they never talk about the quiet cost of staying still, of playing small, of silencing the voice within. And make no mistake, there is a cost. It shows up slowly, so slowly most people don't even notice. It creeps into your life disguised as comfort. It hides behind the steady job, the predictable routine, the familiar surroundings, and for a while, it feels okay, safe, manageable. You convince yourself that dreams are dangerous, that settling is smart. But deep down, something feels missing. You wake up, but there's no fire in your chest. You go through the motions, but your heart feels numb. You smile, but it never reaches your eyes. And then comes the quiet ache, the dull, constant hum of regret. It starts small, a passing thought, a silent question. What if? What if you had tried? What if you had listened to that whisper? What if you had risked the unknown for the chance to live fully? But life keeps moving. The days blur together. You tell yourself there's still time. Next year, someday, when the timing's right. But dreams, they grow impatient. The longer you ignore them, the heavier the regret becomes. Years pass, you look back, and suddenly the window of opportunity feels smaller. Your courage feels weaker. Your belief in yourself, it begins to fade. And that's the true cost, not failure, not rejection, but the slow erosion of your potential. The realization that you traded possibility for predictability, passion for comfort, meaning for safety. You see, the world sells safety as the ultimate prize. But it's an illusion. True safety isn't found in playing small. It's found in becoming who you were meant to be. Ignoring your dream doesn't protect you. It traps you. It shrinks your world. It dulls your spirit. And one day, maybe when you're older, maybe when time has slipped through your fingers, you'll feel it, the weight of dreams unlived, the burden of stories untold, the sorrow of never discovering your true potential. But here's the good news. You still have a choice. The whisper hasn't left you. It never truly leaves. It waits. It believes. It reminds you that as long as there's breath in your lungs, there's time to follow your dream. But waiting comes with a price, and regret. Regret is heavier than failure ever could be. So ask yourself, what's the real risk, chasing your dream, or waking up one day and realizing you never even tried? Every journey begins with a choice, not a grand moment, not an audience clapping, but a quiet decision, often made in silence, when no one's watching. That's how real change starts. See, most people believe life transforms in dramatic scenes, overnight success, instant recognition, lightning striking from the sky. But the truth, it begins with one small, simple, terrifying choice. The choice to believe in your dream, even when no one else does. It's not easy. The voices of doubt will scream louder than ever. The world will throw every reason at you to stay where you are, to keep playing small, to keep quiet, to keep safe. But deep down, that whisper, it refuses to be silenced. It reminds you this is your life, your story, your dream, And when you finally choose to listen, when you say, enough waiting, enough doubting, I'm going after it, that's the moment everything shifts. It won't happen overnight. You won't suddenly become fearless. The doubts, the fears, they'll still be there, lingering at the edges of your mind. But something else awakens. Courage, not the absence of fear, but the strength to act despite it. The most powerful people you've ever heard about, they weren't born extraordinary. They weren't chosen by fate. They made a choice to chase the dream burning inside them, no matter how impossible it seemed. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. You're always one choice away from a completely different life. One choice to rise instead of shrink. One choice to take the first step. Even if your legs tremble, one choice to believe your dream matters. Even if the world laughs, think about it. History remembers the ones who dared. The inventors, the creators, the leaders, they all faced the same fear. The same doubts, the same pressure to stay small, but they made the choice to follow their dreams, uncertain, uncomfortable, afraid, but committed. Your dream, it's waiting for that moment, the moment you stop asking for permission, the moment you stop waiting for the perfect timing, the moment you realize perfect timing is a myth, certainty is a lie, but your choice, that's real. You don't have to see the entire road ahead. You don't need to know every outcome. All you need is the courage to begin, because once you truly choose to follow your dream, you'll look back one day and realize it wasn't luck, it wasn't fate, it wasn't chance. It was the moment you stopped doubting and started becoming who you were meant to be. One choice, that's all it takes. The question is, will you make it? So, you've made the choice. You've taken that first brave step toward your dream. But here's the part most people don't talk about. The road ahead, it will test you. Dreams aren't handed over like prizes. They're earned, carved out of discomfort, shaped by resilience, forged through fire. And the moment you begin, life starts asking, how badly do you want this? Will you keep going when it gets hard? Will you stay committed when no one's watching, when no one believes? The journey toward your dream isn't paved in gold. It's rough, uneven, filled with obstacles designed to challenge every fiber of your being. The world may doubt you. People may laugh. You'll face rejection, failure, moments where quitting feels like the only option. But hear this, every test, every setback, every painful moment is proof you're moving forward, you're growing, you're stretching, you're becoming someone capable of living the dream, not just wishing for it. Because dreams demand transformation. The person you are today, they're not yet ready for the life you're chasing, but through the struggle, through the tests, you evolve. It's easy to feel lost when the road gets dark. Easy to believe the setbacks mean you're not good enough. But understand this, the greatest stories ever told, the strongest people you admire, they all walked through the storm. No shortcuts, no guarantees. Only persistence. Think of the mountain climber standing at the base, staring up at the impossible. The peak is hidden behind clouds. The path is steep, treacherous, uncertain, but they climb anyway. Not because it's easy, not because they're fearless, but because reaching the summit, becoming the person who conquers that mountain, that's worth every scrape, every fall, every moment of doubt. Your dream is your mountain, and the road will test you, not to break you, but to reveal you, to reveal your courage, to reveal your discipline, to reveal your refusal to settle for less than you were born for. Most people quit when the tests begin. They see failure as a stop sign, rejection as a locked door, obstacles as proof they're not good enough. But those who win, they see the tests for what they are, part of the process, fuel for their growth, evidence that they're alive, evolving, destined for more. You will stumble, you will question yourself. There will be days when turning back feels easier, but easy never changed the world. And your dream, it wasn't meant to be easy. It was meant to challenge you. It was meant to transform you. It was meant to test your limits, so you could discover how limitless you truly are. The road will test you. But the real question is, will you pass? By now, you've faced the truth. The road is hard. The dream tests you. The failures come sometimes more than you ever imagined. And here's where most people fall. Not because they aren't talented, not because they aren't capable, but because they quit. They quit when the rejection stings too much. They quit when the effort feels endless. They quit when progress is invisible, when the results are nowhere to be seen, when the dream feels like nothing but a distant illusion. But if you listen, if you really listen to the stories of those who made it, the inventors, the leaders, the dreamers, you'll hear a different truth. They weren't the smartest, they weren't the luckiest, they weren't even the most skilled. They were simply the ones who refused to quit. See, chasing your dream isn't about having all the answers. It's about showing up. Again and again and again. When your knees buckle, you stand back up. When your heart breaks, you let it heal, and you keep walking. When the world tells you no, you whisper back, "Watch me." The path to your dream isn't a straight line. It's jagged, unpredictable, often leading through the darkest valleys before you ever glimpse the peak. But those valleys, they're not punishment, they're preparation. They break you down, only to build you stronger. They strip away the doubts, only to reveal your grit. They test your belief until it becomes unshakable. And here's what separates those who succeed from those who disappear. They refuse to quit. Even when progress feels invisible, even when no one claps, even when their dream feels 1,000 miles away, they show up, they persist. They remind themselves every great story was once a series of failed attempts, sleepless nights, moments of questioning everything. But they stayed in the fight, and eventually, the world noticed. Understand this. Your dream is not supposed to come easy. If it did, everyone would be living theirs. But most people surrender before they ever discover how close they truly were. It's often darkest. Right before the breakthrough, it feels impossible. Moments before the door opens, it seems hopeless. Seconds before life shifts forever, but only those who stay, who refuse to quit, get to find out how the story ends. You're tired, good. That means you're pushing your limits. You're scared, good. That means you're stepping into unknown territory where growth happens. You're failing, good. That means you're trying, you're learning. You're building the resilience your dream demands. The world may tell you to stop. The fear may beg you to turn back. But your dream, it's still there waiting. Watching, rooting for the version of you who refuses to quit. In the end, the prize doesn't go to the strongest, or the fastest, or even the most gifted. It goes to the one who stays standing. Long after everyone else sat down, only those who refuse to quit win. The truth is, chasing your dream isn't just about achieving a goal. It's not just about the recognition, the success, the applause. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be. See, most people think the dream itself is the prize, the career, the business, the moment you finally stand on the mountaintop. But those things, they're temporary, they're fleeting. What stays, what truly matters, is the transformation that happens along the way. The road tests you, the failures humble you, the rejection sharpens you. The persistence molds you into someone unrecognizable from who you were when you started. That's the real magic of following your dream. You begin as one version of yourself, unsure, afraid, uncertain. But every step forward, it strips away the doubt, it strengthens your belief, it turns whispers into conviction, and before you know it, you've changed. You're not the same person who once questioned their worth. You're stronger, wiser, braver, relentless, because following your dream forces you to meet yourself. Truly meet yourself. It reveals your limits only so you can shatter them. It exposes your fears only so you can conquer them. It introduces you to your potential, the version of you hiding beneath the surface all along. People will notice. They'll say, "You've changed." And they'll be right. Because how could you not? When you dared to believe, when you refused to quit, when you faced every storm and kept walking, the dream may have been the spark, but the person you become, that's the real reward. You'll look in the mirror one day, and staring back will be someone who didn't settle. Someone who carried the scars of failure, the weight of rejection, the lessons of perseverance, and yet stood tall, unapologetic, unstoppable, unshaken. The world may never fully understand your journey. They might only see the success, the achievements, the final product, but you'll know every sleepless night, every sacrifice, every silent battle that shaped you. And here's the greatest truth of all. When you follow your dream, you give permission to others to do the same. You become a living example, proof that courage is contagious, that hope is real, that dreams are worth the fight, because your dream isn't just about you. It's about the people you inspire, the lives you touch, the legacy you leave, the version of you who stays small, who lets fear win, who ignores the whisper. That version never gets to find out what's truly possible. But the version who listens, who dares, who persists, that version becomes unstoppable. So when you feel tired, when doubt creeps in, when the world tells you to give up, remember this: the dream was never just about the destination. It was always about the transformation. Follow your dream and meet the person you were always meant to be.